This recipe is a long time in the making. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make the best soft, cinnamony, buttery sourdough cinnamon rolls. This is definitely a family favorite, absolutely holiday worthy. I think you guys are gonna find a new favorite right now. And I'm totally craving some cinnamon rolls, so let's get started. I do like to use my stand mixer here because it saves some effort, but you can absolutely knead the dough by hand. Into the mixing bowl, combine your room temperature milk and your active sourdough starter. And if you're new to sourdough, we do have a really good tutorial on how to make sourdough starter from scratch. I will link to that in the notes. Next, add your melted and cooled butter. Then crack in your room temperature eggs. I do like to crack these into a separate bowl first just to make sure we don't have any shells in the batter. Also add your vanilla extract, and I do have a 2-ingredient homemade extract, and I will link to that in the notes. Add the sugar and the salt, and whisk that together until it's well combined. Now add the flour, and you can use all-purpose flour or bread flour here. Add the flour gradually, stirring with the dough hook attachment until it's incorporated, then add more. Keep that over low to medium speed while you're adding the flour. Now with cinnamon rolls, it's important not to add too much flour, so make sure you measure it correctly by spooning it into the measuring cup and scraping off the top. You can also weigh the flour if you have a kitchen scale, and I will link to my favorite one in the notes. Scrape down the bowl as needed for all of that flour to incorporate, and once it's all in there, you're gonna knead on speed 2 with the dough hook for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until your dough is no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl. When it's done, the dough should feel very soft and moist, but it won't stick to clean and dry fingertips. And if you don't have a stand mixer and you want to knead it by hand, it'll take about 6 to 8 minutes. Transfer your dough to a clean bowl, cover that with plastic wrap, and rest at room temperature for about 2 hours. Now, keeping it covered, refrigerate overnight for 8 to 12 hours. You can skip the refrigerating if you have to, but refrigerating overnight results in the best cinnamon rolls. Take those out of the fridge about 2 hours before you roll the dough. It'll be easier to roll it out, and it'll rise faster if it's at room temperature. Butter the bottom and sides of a 9x13, preferably metal baking dish, and lightly flour your work surface. Turn that beautiful dough out onto your floured surface and roll it into about a 17 by 10 inch rectangle. I'm using a French rolling pin, but any rolling pin is fine. It's out of control. This really is such an easy dough to work with and roll out. You will love it. Lovely dough. Come on, it's such a lovely dough. Here's why I do love a French rolling pin. It's thicker in the center, so it actually distributes the weight more evenly as you roll things out. So if you don't have a French rolling pin, I will link to my favorite one in the notes. Once you have it rolled out, try to square off the short sides, then dot the top with your softened butter. Now use an offset spatula or any spatula to spread that butter out. If you dot the top with butter, it becomes much easier to spread. This butter layer is important because it helps to hold the brown sugar and cinnamon. Okay, I need a bigger bowl. I tried. In a small-ish bowl, combine your brown sugar and ground cinnamon. Sprinkle that generously over your butter layer, and it may seem like a lot of brown sugar, but it really makes these cinnamon rolls special. To get the prettiest rolls, my assistant Brooke recommended cutting the dough into strips first and then rolling it up, and it's brilliant. Using a pizza cutter, cut the dough into 12 even strips. Roll up the strips one at a time, keeping a tight roll as you go. This method ensures every cinnamon roll looks so pretty once it's baked. Once you make your roll, make sure to pinch the end to keep it from unrolling while it's proofing. Set the finished rolls into your buttered baking dish as you roll them up. Cover the cinnamon rolls with a damp kitchen towel and let them proof in a warm place for 2 to 3 hours or until they look puffed and visibly larger. I like to put them into an oven with the light on. I find it's just enough heat to help them rise. If you are proofing in the oven, make sure to take those cinnamon rolls out before you preheat your oven. Then you're gonna bake those proofed rolls at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 18 to 20 minutes. While the rolls bake, make the icing. This is my favorite cinnamon roll icing, and it's so easy. In a mixing bowl, cream together your softened butter and cream cheese. Add vanilla extract, powdered sugar, and a pinch of salt. Start beating on low so you don't end up in a cloud of powdered sugar. Then increase to high speed and beat for 2 to 3 minutes or until the mixture is whipped, airy, and lightened in color. It's time to check on those cinnamon rolls, and it's important not to overbake your cinnamon rolls. Pull them out of the oven when you just see them starting to get golden at the edges. If you have a thermometer, they should be between 190 and 200 in the center. Once they're out of the oven, you want to let them rest for just 5 minutes, then spread on your icing. If you spread on the glaze while the rolls are still very warm, some of it will melt into the rolls, which is exactly what you want. All right, this is the moment of truth. We are ready for the taste test, and I could not be more excited. Actually, the filling and the frosting for these cinnamon rolls are from my new cookbook, and I'll link to that in the notes. There's so many treasures in this book. We are digging in because, the cinnamon rolls in my book are traditional, like yeast cinnamon rolls, and this is the sourdough version. I know how good they are because I've been testing them, eating a lot of them. My husband has been eating a lot of them. Actually, the last batch, he literally ate 5, like in one sitting. I don't understand, but it happened. So I'm kind of scared once we turn the cameras off and he gets his hands on these. So we're gonna do this real fast while we have the opportunity. Let's pick one. Let's go with the big one. This one looks big. And there's just such a generous amount of frosting here. You can't go wrong. But they're not too sweet. Like, they're so satisfying. Here we go. And the kids are gonna be so happy when they get home from school. Actually, my daughter complained a little bit yesterday. She was like, Mom, can we not make those again for a while? Because this is our Christmas tradition and she wants it to stay special for Christmas. Isn't that sweet? I love it. But look at this. I want you to look at the texture of this dough. It is amazing. You could peel it in layers. It's so soft and We're just gonna move right along because Mommy wants her cinnamon roll. Look at this layer right here. I'm just gonna peel that back. Let's do a real taste test because that didn't count. Let's get a generous forkful here. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It can be a finger food if you desire that. So many layers. I love the cinnamon sugar layer in there, and these are so fluffy but buttery and loaded with frosting. Oh yeah. Wow. So soft and moist inside. I think the #1 thing with cinnamon rolls is not to overbake them. As soon as you see them starting to get a little bit golden at the edges, pull them out. And if you want to double check, you can do the thermometer. Should be about between 190 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit in the center. It's another way to know they're done. I just want you to have one more look. I'll peel back this layer and you're gonna see what I'm talking about, okay? I have to eat it. Oh my God. Just let me have my moment. This feels like Christmas morning. I feel like I just need to go in on this because my husband is eyeing these big time. Let us know where you guys spotted Sharky in the video. We do play a game every premiere on YouTube where the first person who spots Sharky gets a $100 prize. Also, let me know if you guys have any recipe requests for our next videos. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this. Marvelous. Okay, look at this next bite. Just kidding. Can't even fit this in